Hi guys, and welcome to another video with us, the Youngs. As you can tell, we're not on an adventure today.
But we will be.
But yeah, this
Clues in the ears.
This is a preparation video. We are on a 7-night Western European Disney cruise. Those of you that follow would know that we've recently been on a Disney cruise over in the Caribbean, where we spent 5 nights on the Disney Magic, whereas this time we're on 7 nights on the Disney Fantasy.
So we're doing a little preparation chat, just to talk to you about, once you've got your Disney cruise booked, what next?
Step 1, preparation.
So I think the boring bit first. First of all, when you have booked a cruise, please make sure you check your passports. You need to know where they are and that they're going to be in date for the remainder of your travel. You would not believe how many times we see online people last minute asking, how am I going to get a passport? Did I need a passport for a cruise? It may not be I don't know this for sure. It may not be the case that you need a passport for every cruise, but have it. It's your form of documentation. It's photo ID. Make sure it's in date. Check your specific cruise line. But, as far as I'm concerned, for a Disney cruise, you need your passport.
Yeah, it's solely dependent on what nationality you are. If you're American, travelling from an American port, you don't need a passport. You just need some sort of identification. That could be birth certificate, driving licence, any sort of identity card. I think any international guest is standard passport for any cruise around the world. Doesn't matter. So
the next thing, boring again, but really important, travel insurance. We never thought that we were going to be in the situation we were on our last holiday. And just to recap for you, if you haven't watched our last cruise video, 1, go and watch it. But 2, our eldest son, 2 hours had we been in the country of the US of A, cracked his head open. His first major incident, we never thought that was going to be the case. And, we were in an ambulance, in a hospital, having his head stitched. Sorry for anyone that's squeamish, but, never thought that was going to be us, and it was. So you never expect it's going to be you. You never want that to happen, but you need to have the things in place in case, because that would have been
horrendous.
That would have been pretty expensive. It was horrendous to go through anyway, but to think you'd have to
pay for it,
go through the financial trauma of that as well, just know. So get your travel insurance booked. And then just logistically, transportation and parking. Think about how are you getting there, how are you getting to that cruise port, if you're driving, where you parking your car. All those logistical things. Once you've got those out the way, your passports, your travel insurance, how you getting there or how you parking.
So now the fun part. Now that all the boring adult stuff's out of the way, let's bring in the kids. Woo! What Disney do for certain travellers of certain countries is they offer what they call a telephone call from the characters. That is from either Mickey and Minnie, or Goofy. All it is just, it's a call up. It's not specific to your child, or it's just a generic call.
Pre-recorded message.
Yeah, just welcoming you on board, can't wait to see you, sort of thing. We did do it, and we'll put it in there.
Hiya, pal. It's me, Mickey Mouse, and I was just... Mickey! Oh, hiya, Minnie. How are you? Oh, Mickey, have you heard? Have you heard?
Who is it?
Heard what? Our friend is coming for a visit. Oh, isn't it exciting? It sure is. In fact, I'm talking to him right now.
You are? Well, you have to tell him hello from me, okay?
You got it. All right, pal. Minnie wants me to say hello, and
that we're really excited that you're coming to see us. Tell them that, too.
that we're really excited you're coming to see us. And
and that we can hardly wait until they get here.
We can hardly wait until you get here. And, wait, anything else, Minnie?
No, that's it.
Well then, pal, it sure was great talking.
Wait. No, I think that was it. Sorry.
Aw, that's all right, Minnie. Like I was saying, talking to you, and we'll see you real
Bye, Mickey.
Bye, Mickey.
So there's lots of magical ways you can tell your children whether it's going to be a surprise, whether you're telling them closer to your sailing date, whether you're telling them a bit further in advance. And, you know, go and Google, think about what's best for you. We just thought that would be a cute way. And a budget way. It's free. It's included with your cruise price. You can get 2 of those calls per booking. It's a fun, cheap way to tell him, and both of them.
Especially if your children know the characters, like ours do.
Recognising the voices,
Yeah,
quite
straight
cute
away.
as well.
He recognises it's Mickey, then Minnie comes in. It's just a nice little addition to, obviously, the excitement of a Disney cruise. So next is your luggage. What you are allowed on a Disney cruise per person is 2 checked suitcases, 1 carry-on, and a personal item, which obviously for most ladies it's a handbag. For a lot of other people it's a backpack. There is no weight limit, so not like an airplane. You can take as much as you want as long as it fits in your 2 checked suitcases per person, and the carry-on has to fit within what they call an airport security scanner. So anybody that's been to an airport, you've seen scanners that they go through. As long as it fits in there, it's accepted.
So that's especially good if you are cruising from the country you live in. Obviously, airports have different restrictions. So, you know, if you're going international for your cruise, you're basically going to take what you can take on the airline. If you're cruising from your country, you can utilise that packing, so you can take all the shoes you want.
As I said, there's no restrictions to the amount of weight you can take. However, there are restrictions to the items you can take. There is a full list on the Disney Cruise Line website. Literally an entire section to itself. It fills out everything that you can't take. Anything that you're unsure about, you can just give them a message and they get back to you within a couple of days. They are really, really good. I've done it previously. We've asked a few questions and, like I said, within about 48 hours you get the answer back.
So yeah, just key to remember, you've got your prohibited items and restricted items. Make sure you check those out before you go. We'll pop a link in the description so you can check it out. But Disney will also remind you of that. You'll get emails coming up to your
So many
coming
emails.
up to your sailing and stuff. And if you download the Navigator app, which we'll talk about shortly, you'll get notifications from that as well. So just make sure you have a quick read through. It won't take you long.
Next is what a lot of people don't know is Disney will send out luggage tags. This will work a little bit different depending on if you're going abroad or you're doing it from the country of origin. Like we are, we're doing it from Southampton in the UK, so we don't have obviously the issues of going on an airplane. What you do is they send you the luggage tags. It's normally a couple of weeks before you cruise. We have had it where it's been a couple of days before we've gone. I think our first abroad one also we missed them because they didn't actually arrive until the day we were flying, but we were already in Manchester, so we couldn't take them.
But as we've talked about before, no need to panic about that because you can pick them up from the cruise port.
That isn't our previous cruise one on, I believe it's Embarkation Day. I think I explained it on there, or it's definitely on Embarkation Day because I remember I was not in the mood to do it on that night. So yeah, we did record it when we received them, just so you got a nice idea. But obviously we're playing now.
So this is what you're looking out for in the post. This lovely envelope here, but with your name on, not mine.
So yeah, all we're going to do is obviously show you what's inside, what sort of cruise information they actually give you beforehand, and obviously show you the luggage tags.
And while we're doing that, we can talk about the Disney luggage tags because they are more important than they look. So when you have completed your online check-in, Disney will mail these to you and you'll have your colourful luggage tags before you're sailing, hopefully. So, look at them. So, yeah. So each one has your stateroom number on. Unfortunately, as you can see, ours doesn't because we are guaranteed room, so we'll write that on ourselves.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed room is a guaranteed category. So for us, it's a veranda, but they don't allocate room numbers until it's roughly 14 days before. So we should receive an email, and obviously we'll just write it on. Normally you'd get all your information already pre-written up, well, pre-printed on there. As you can see, ours are purple. That is because that is the colour of the fantasy ship. Each different ship has their own luggage tags, so if you were to be at a port where there was more than one ship being boarded, obviously it just makes it easier for them to make sure that you get on the right ship, otherwise your luggage is going somewhere else. So it's purple for fantasy, you've got green for the magic, orange for the wonder, blue for the dream, maroon for the wish, and the yellow for treasure. If you don't receive them in time, they do it at the port as well. Obviously they just send them out just because it makes things a bit quicker. But if you're staying at a Disney World hotel, they have them at Bell Services, where again they're blank, and you just fill out all your details on it yourself and attach them from there.
Yeah, but obviously anything you do want to walk on the ship with, please don't put one of these on. You're not going to need that. This is just so you can pop these on, secure them to your baggage. Then the crew will make sure that the suitcases and whatever the type of baggage it is delivered directly to your stateroom, which, as I said, will either be printed here or you will write on once your room is assigned. Basically, so you can relax, explore the ship, and grab your lunch before you can head to your room and unpack.
Again, this is another thing that Disney reminds you of constantly throughout, obviously, the run-up to your cruise, is make sure any travel documents that you need, i.e. your passport, your identification card, any sort of medication, prescriptions that obviously they might need to see, keep them on your person. So keep them on your carry-on. Do not put them in your checked luggage, because you do not get those for hours afterwards. So if you get on the ship at 12, I've seen it where people don't get their cases back until 6 o'clock. And obviously that can cause an issue getting onto the ship. So make sure you got everything that you need to go onto the ship with you at all times. Pro tip, this has been picked up by a lot of vloggers and pro Disney cruisers who have done
Many more than us.
many more than us. Download the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app before you get on the ship. Solely because it allows you to attend to your reservation on the app. There's certain things you can do on the app, there's certain things you have to call up for, but most things you can do on the app, like checking in, booking excursions, booking on board activities such as
Bibbidi bobbidi booty.
your adult only dining, that sort of stuff can all be done through the app.
And not only that, you get your magical countdown.
And that.
I'll show you now. But yeah, you get your cute little Disney characters and your countdown. It's just nice to look at. And obviously having it on your phone, really convenient to just look at any time rather than logging on to, a laptop or a desktop to get on there.
The reason for the download before you get on the ship is Disney allow a small amount of Wi-Fi usage to download the app if you haven't done it already. Obviously, if you already downloaded it, you can use it a little bit to, if you need to just quickly check an email or pick something up quickly, you can use it for that. So, a little pro tip there.
That being said, Wi-Fi is not free on Disney ships. There are packages for that. We can talk about that another time.
Yeah.
But
we'll
it's
explain
just
that on the ship where we can show you.
Yeah. The last thing we kind of want to talk about with regards to cruise ships and cruising is gratuities.
/ tips for people who don't know what that means.
Yeah. So that's basically quite standard across most cruise ships. And you can prepay it before your holiday, or you can pay at the end of your holiday.
We just like it out of the way so we know it's done. We haven't got to worry that, we haven't got enough money to cover it. We know what we're dealing with and what we've got left to spend, really.
What we've got left to put on a placeholder.
We'll explain that another day.
That's our main kind of points. So the last thing we're going to talk to you guys about is our kind of top tips. Mom and Dad's kind of like tried and tested recommendations.
Yes, stuff that we've picked up. Obviously, this will be our fourth. Be our third with children. First one we did by ourselves. That was during COVID, so that's
actually a question I get asked all the time. Can adults go on a Disney cruise by themselves?
Hell yeah.
Should they go on a Disney cruise by
Yes.
themselves? Do a lot of adults go on Disney cruises
Yes.
by themselves? Yeah. So yeah, it's absolutely not. It is family friendly. It is aimed at families, but there's absolutely no reason why adults, as you know, a party, a group, can't just do that.
It does cater to all ages. They aim more towards adults through food because food is phenomenal. Again, if you carry on watching the series, you'll see why. That Disney's kind of unmatched at the moment with relating to their dining experience.
So, do you want to start with one?
Yeah, because this is generally one of my favourite ones and one that's probably not actually shouted out enough of, especially if you're going from the Caribbean, from Florida, or Fort Lauderdale or Miami, where it's hot. Get yourself an insulated drink container. All soft drinks are included, so apple juice, orange juice, fizzy drinks like Coke, Sprite, that sort of stuff. That's all included within your cruise price. The only issue with that is obviously it's done through self-serve, but they only come with little paper cups. And obviously, paper cups in the sun, your drink gets warm within 10 minutes. And
they're also only one size as well.
Yeah, so you're constantly having to go up and down, up and down, up and down. This is a Disney Cruise Line specific one. We got this on our last cruise from Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. That's their actual insulated mug, and
it's beautiful.
It holds, if I remember rightly, it holds a full 500ml bottle, if not more. You don't have to get that. They are relatively expensive. You can get
order your own, any choice. We chose these ones one of the years because they've got this kind of handle,
hooks onto the pushchair perfectly.
Yeah, so that was ideal. And you could also hook it onto your bag, whatever.
Also comes with drinking straw. So
it's just your preference. The key is just having it insulated and that it's just a little bit bigger than those, small cardboardy kind of
saves you
cups.
loads of journeys getting up and down.
Okay, my next top tip would be water shoes. I never thought I was bothered by that kind of thing. I think we got our eldest some water shoes one year just as a bit of a novelty, really. And they were the best purchase we ever made. Not saying it's necessarily got to be branded, but
that was just because we got a good deal on Vinted.
I love Vinted. And these have absolutely been the best Vinted buy ever. It's just given him a bit more grip. It's enabled him to walk on hotter surfaces without burning his feet. They've just been great. If there's been any roughness when I've been walking and thought, oh gosh, their little feet, they're a bit more sensitive, aren't they? Not had to worry about it at all. And this is gross, but little toes getting stuck in the gratings around pools. No.
Yeah.
Water shoes, I think they're amazing. Problem, they have just been fab. Definitely recommend.
Mum and Dad tip 3. When it comes to cutlery, Disney only seem to do adult size cutlery. So your standard. Obviously, when it comes to toddlers and babies, depending on how well they are with using cutlery, obviously a big fork or a big knife is going to be really, really difficult to obviously manoeuvre.
Our recommendation is to take your own, whether, whatever their preferred cutlery is. We know how finicky toddlers can be sometimes. Maybe it's just because they're going to eat better if they've got their own from home. Maybe it's because they need a plastic one. Maybe they've got a specific grip on it. Whatever it is, definitely recommend taking your own kids' cutlery. Just obviously bear in mind that you will need to wash that yourself. They're not going to keep it for you at the restaurant or whatever. You'll be taking it back and forth, so just make sure you've got something to wash it with after each use, and maybe a little plastic container to keep them in. So our 4th tip would be to take a pushchair. This is also a question that gets asked a lot on the groups. There's plenty of room on the ship. I wouldn't necessarily recommend taking a full, your bassinet stroller, your full on one. Get yourself a travel one or one that folds down. because it means you can use it around the ship wherever you need. When you're in your room, you can fold it down, store it up, you know, so it's out the way. Same for like when you're at the tables in the restaurant, so you can really, it's not taking up too much space, but actually having that place for your little ones. And to save little legs sometimes is going to save you so many meltdowns. It's just going to give you a bit of peace of mind sometimes, and a little bit of comfort and a safe space for them. So I would recommend that.
It can be any sort of pushchair. It can be the ones that fold in half. We personally take the GB Pocket, which literally folds up into like a square this big. Fits.
We can shove it under the table when we're at restaurants.
It literally
and
fits
stuff.
into a cabin size suitcase. That's how tiny it gets. We've been using it since Jackson's been 18 months, and it's still going strong now, and it's gone on. It's probably been bashed around a lot, especially if you're getting off the ship. Pushchairs are highly needed.
Yeah, very good for exploring.
Pro tip 5. I did say earlier that Disney is mainly cashless. What we tend to do is we still tend to take some cash with us. It's all dealt with in dollars. They don't do any other currency. It's all dollars on the ship.
Your prepaid tips are going to go to your stateroom host, the people that serve you at the restaurant. You're seeing them every day. You might interact with someone, I don't know, at a bar, around the pool, or in any of the activities where, it requires a tip. You might not see that person again. You might not know where you're going to see that person again. So that they're the kind of things you need cash for.
Also, as well, contained in your price of the cruise, you also can have room service for free. I say free, obviously it's included, but there's no extra charge for it. All they recommend is obviously a little tip to the person delivering it to you. Normally,
Just a couple of dollars.
It's nothing major. People tend to say like
Couple of dollars per item.
Yeah, a couple of dollars
maybe.
per item, depending on how much you have. I think last time we did 5 because we just had a few bits, so it was just straight 5. It was just easier. But yeah, take a little bit of cash as well, because obviously you never know who's going to give you that good service. So you just want to say thank you very much. Pro tip 6.
Last one.
Probably. Join your cruise specific Facebook group. And I say that because if you get on there, the amount of questions that are asked that you probably have that you probably don't even think about until you see it, it'll be on there.
So much knowledge on there that's shared.
Yeah,
and
you've got it from people who haven't cruised to people who have taken 35 plus cruises. Everybody's at different stages, and everybody's got that little different tip that they just want to give. Hence the reason for this video.
And that's where you're going to find out about any kind of groups that are going on during your cruise, such as fish extender groups, pixie dusting. There's been random ones like crisp enthusiasts. There's all sorts of things you can possibly think of, crocheting, ducks, whatever it is. That's where all that information is going to be, because that's not affiliated with Disney. That will just be at the discretion of people attending the cruise. Normally someone will set up a group, and you just search it on Facebook, you'll be able to find it.
Fish extenders and pixie dusting is basically just little exchanging of gifts between certain staterooms. It will be organised by somebody. It tends to be organised on every cruise. I don't think I've ever seen a cruise that hasn't had it. It's basically just little gifts, nothing over the top. On our first Caribbean cruise, when we joined it, we put it out there of what sort of sweets or treats that people would like from the UK. We had lots of people that
Lots of requests.
Lots of requests.
It's totally up to you how involved you get with that. You can really get involved in the fish extender group, sign up to multiple, do what you want to do. Or pixie dusting's a bit more laid back, so it's like there's no obligation. Either way, make up treats of whatever you want given to. The whole idea is it's just about you making someone else's day, and then hopefully that will happen to you. So you just go around randomly. Sometimes there are lists, so people just put on their stateroom, who's in it, and like things about them, so people have a bit of an idea. But in general, it's random pixie dusting.
Yeah. So there we go. As we said, all it is probably our little ideas and tips that we've picked up as we've done cruises. They might not work for you. That's fine. It's generally just us trying to get this information out for things that people might not know. Obviously, if it's your first cruise, you would have no idea about anything, and any sort of information is good information. So.
But that being said, if there is anything specific you would like to know, please feel free to comment here. If there is a specific subject you'd like explaining a little bit more, maybe we can think about doing another video, perhaps about why choose Disney over others, what is fish extending, what is all that kind of stuff. If you've got a question, let us know, and the more people that have it will, consider doing another video like this. So let us know what you think. Whether you've got anything to add, whether you've got tips that have worked for you, and we will see you on our next adventure, cruising.
So yeah, we'll see you guys next week when we start our adventure with travelling down to Southampton.
See you then.
Bye guys.